we've just picked up the ball. Now we can transition into possession. What I want you to notice is look at my cursor. Look at all of their players. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All of their players are on one side of the field. That's where they're attacking from, right? So where is the space? Obviously, there's a ton of space here. Okay, so I want you to look at that first and foremost. Look how slow you are to transition. This is a moment. Look, this player's sprinting out. This player's opening up. This player's opening. This is an opportunity that we can expose this space and break lines, leaving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7 of their defenders behind. Look how slow you are, and then we play this safe pass here, okay? The ball should be just laid out in a space here for us to sprint onto. This is safe, and look what it does. It allows all of their players to get back behind the ball and recover centrally. Okay, this is just a little thing for me, but just want you to watch your footwork and see how it's like you're taking a step in behind. Right here. Okay, so let's pull back a little bit here. Right there. Okay, so we take that step back. So we're not in a good set position here. We're gonna take another step here. Ball's here. Let's get squared up with the ball. Just slide, in a small shuffle, taking small steps towards this space you want to get to. Right about here, we don't need to creep necessarily to our near post. We need to sort of stay a little bit higher and deal with the cutback, because obviously if he's going to get anything on it there. But you can see you're not set at any point in time here. So that's just the biggest thing for me, is finding your spots a little bit earlier. Okay, on this clip, I want you to recognize our angles of support. So our center back who we just played the ball to is going to turn and play us back. So here's our initial pressure pocket, and one thing I always want us to look at is there a second pressure pocket coming centrally? Okay, if there's not, we can stay central and maybe switch the point of attack. If there is, and as you can see, this player starts to tee off, that's where you need to create more separation, get to about where my cursor is. Okay, that's going to give you more space. You see, you never leave, and this player's still coming. Okay, you've got to get here to where you have ample time and space, and you can bend it around to this player and we can break lines. Okay, you invite this pressure because you limit your space, and now you end up hitting a ball. I think we get a little bit lucky there, but just something to look at. Okay, on this action, the ball is going to get played in and then set back to the player that throws the ball in. Okay, so I want us to just talk about our positioning when the ball is wide from this angle. Okay, so he's going to serve it, and a couple things. So I think left in swinger, out swinger really doesn't matter from this position. You see your set position is just kind of still in a staggered stance instead of a ready position. But also, we need to think about this plane as a 45 degree from our post to the middle of the goal. You're so sucked into the near post that you have no chance to get to the middle or far post unless it's hung up really high. So I want you to set more central, but on ahead of your post, but on this 45 degree plane. You can always come back to the near post. You can attack this space here. You can attack the middle space, and you have a way better chance of getting to the back post. There's no pressure on the ball. This is so wide. There's so much time to get back. Now it's going to get deflected here, but still, just from a starting position standpoint. Okay, this ball is going to get played long off the kickoff. What I want us to think about here is, once again, recognizing this ball is giving our outside back here fits. You can either let it go or try and win it. I mean, there's no press coming, so maybe a little bit more communication here, but also it bounces, and I think we can create a passing lane here to keep possession. All right, we're going to try and huff it up, but if he shields it and comes back to us, you have no pressure. So we need to be communicating that with him, play back and we can keep the ball here. So just something to think about as we kind of get played into a little bit of danger and they retain possession deep inside our half when we could have maybe solved that a little bit earlier. Okay, on their goal, what I do like initially here as they win possession of the ball is our starting position. So, you know, there's a player running in behind. If this ball gets played anywhere central, you're in good space here to command the area behind the back line. So here they're going to break out wide. So obviously you're going to sink back central. The one really good habit I think we can learn from this is pivoting and opening our step and trying to cover the shots that are hit just wide of the post. What I mean by this is as you get set, I think you can settle in here as well before we get to that point that I was just about to make, because if you're still kind of moving backwards right here though, you're not in danger of getting chipped. There's too many bodies around the ball. But if he decides he's going to take a big touch into this space and you're set and balanced and ready to go forward, you can maybe come compete for that. Okay, he doesn't. It gets nipped. All right, we settle in. Now here, check in with your near post as he's now going to get to a shooting angle. Check in with that near post. All right, but here's what I mean. Okay, so watch as this ball is drawn wide, and you can even sink back in now that he's gone wider. So he hits it, and see that stab at it there? Your shoulders come up and back. And one really good habit is to sink your hips back, shoulders forward, and see this ball wide with your hand. All right, you stab at it with your foot, and that stops all of your momentum, whereas I want you to be covering this ball to the post. So now you realize, oh, it's wide and a player can get there, but it's too late. So that's just a really good habit to have in general. Okay, I just want to show you that habit we were talking about here. So your footwork, following the game, stay in a set position. See how tall you are here? Okay, but here's the one, that step. By taking that step, first of all, I think you're past the ball line here, but also your shoulders are facing towards your sideline now. Okay? Stay square to the ball, shuffle instead of taking that like backward step that opens up your body, because all of a sudden, look here. Look at where your shape is, still here, and he shoots it. You're nowhere square, and also it looks to me you're off the ball line. So if he hits this well, you know, that could be more trouble. But also, you know, if we back it up here 5 seconds, and I'll pause it. Okay, so if he decides instead of shooting, okay, he's going to slip a ball in, I don't think we're ready either. Okay, so in either case, I think we could be in trouble. So here's another just starting position when we're in possession, something to think about, okay? So obviously you can see all of the bodies played to this one side, okay? So they've pretty well got us phased to one side. And what we talked about before was recognizing the pressure pockets, right? So here you have your initial pressure pocket. Is anybody pressuring the center part of the field if this ball is played to you? And in this case, no. So I think you can get into this space here to unlock this space out here. Okay, so when you show this is actually where you're going to be led by the pass, I think you can be in that space already. And it's not a big deal, right? We're fine here. I'm just making the point here so that you understand, you know, the spacing and how to relieve pressure, okay? So obviously, good idea here, good distance on this ball, good accuracy, it gives us the outlet. Okay, so for me, this is just about body shape, and then also, I mean, we're playing a very high line here, but you seem to say well connected. The only thing here is look at your body shape. In these instances, with these slip balls through or big touches, really focus on having your chin be in front of your body, having your hips be back in sort of like a sprinter stance, because we either need to go backwards quickly or forwards quickly. And I think you're kind of in a lackadaisical mode here with your starting position, with your body shape. So as this ball gets played over, we don't really change. We're just kind of walking. See, you're always leaning back. All right. And we want to be reactive. We want to be proactive with our body shape so we can react quickly. All right. So big touch. You can see you're going backwards here vertically, slanted the other way. We want your chin forward as you go back. Now, the player looks like he's drifting wide, and so I think you get away with it. You make the save here, but I think because we have defensive help here, I think you need to create more room for that defender and yourself, okay? So he's stride for stride, and you settle in way early. I mean, super early here. And typically, that's going to be a striker's cue to go around you with their shot or touch. It's very hard to find angles from this distance where you have help here. So you can see you settle in, and he's drifting wider, and you're starting to go. All right, so for me, this is the wrong decision. I think you settle into your goal and let your defender keep ushering him wide. And by getting out here, you're forcing the striker's hand. See, he already has help. You're kind of in no man's land here. And you end up making the save. You do well with it. But I think in the end, if you had a do-over, right, see what happens here. Okay, if you had a do-over, I think the defender takes care of it, no problem. We don't worry about it at all. Yeah, so this is a super unfortunate goal here as we just let this run. I mean, I think, you know, and I'm not privy to the audio here, but we've got to be screaming for this ball back because the risk reward by this player turning, look, I mean, you can see he's being pressed. It's got to come from you right away to receive this ball. There's just so much space to play back safely into, and I think we're just too casual here, and the ball's going to turn over. So unnecessary from that part of the field. Obviously, from there, it's just making sure we defend properly, which we don't on a number of different occasions. And you can see we've got to keep. I've never seen your head kind of turn and organize, so that's one thing I want us to see if we can get a double team here. Maybe we drop players in. We're in scramble mode. I think everyone's expecting we win that ball, and it just kind of, right? There's the moment again. We lose out on that moment. All right. We get into a 3-goal here, and it's a little cutback for a goal. So it starts at the very beginning with that communication piece. Get the ball back to your feet, and we live in that occasion.